Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Wisdom Tarot. This is a twin flame reading for January 2018. I have done a divine masculine mind reading, energy reading for January 2018 previously, just focusing on the divine masculine. And the energy in that reading for the divine masculine was very different to the one I see in the spread. So this will resonate with some of you. As I always say, the twin flame journey is a process, and we are all at different points of that journey and of that process. So for some of you, the other reading will resonate more in connection with the divine masculine. For some others of you, this will be more relevant. This will resonate with you more. This is where your divine masculine counterpart is at the moment, or will be around the month of January. Energy is fluid, so it could be a bit before and a bit after. This reading looks at both the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. Just before going into the different positions for the cards, looking at the cards more generally, on the whole, I can straight away see that it's going to be a little bit challenging for the twin flames in the month of January. The divine masculine, but in a positive way, if that makes sense. For the divine masculine, it looks like he's going through a transition, through an ending, possibly a breakup, pain, heartache, anxiety, and a little bit of a sense of losing faith. So it doesn't seem like he's going to be in a very good space in the month of January. And why I say it could be positive, because when we're healing, when we're leaving the old behind to step into the new, that's never an easy process, especially when there is resistance to it. And we know with the divine masculine, there is a level of resistance to change. It's fear. It's fear of change, but change is inevitable, and it will happen whether we like it or not. And he seems to be, during the month of January, going through this process. I've got the Moon card. I've got the Three of Swords. But at the end here, I've got the Star card. So it's all good. It's all good. He's feeling the pain. He's fearful. He's depressed. He's anxious. But it's all for the highest good. It's all for his healing and for that journey to ultimately lead him to where he needs to be. Looking at the divine masculine, the divine feminine energy here, the divine feminine seems to be obviously tired and exhausted of this whole journey. She's trying to keep the faith. She's trying to keep the enthusiasm and the faith in the relationship, keeping the hope for the start of a new journey. But she's finding it hard because she's been waiting and waiting. And nothing's been happening. the offer of love that she extended has been extending towards the masculine for a long time now, um, hasn't been taken, because the masculine is focused on his own journey, on his own stuff, on his own transformation. And she's getting tired. She's getting tired and exhausted of all the effort, of all the waiting. So she feels limited and restricted by this process. But she needs to keep the faith. We have the Star card, beautiful card, in the spread. The Star card with the Fool, the general sort of message here is that despite the challenge, despite the difficulty, there will be a new day. There will be a new day. There will be a transformation, a new journey starting, leaving the past behind, moving towards a brighter new day. Just keep the faith and keep the hope. I've got 3 outcome cards here, likely outcome cards for January, but we'll do this later. We'll look at them later. And at the bottom of the spread, I've got the 9 of Swords, which to me summarizes the general energy here, which is one of worry, both on the side of the masculine and the feminine. There is worry. He's worried because of what he's going through, the changes, the transformation, the endings, the breakup, whatever is going on in his life. She is worried and anxious because nothing is happening. And she's tired of it, and she feels limited and restricted, doesn't know what to do. So let's look at the cards individually. So the first column here is about the general energy for the masculine, for the feminine. So the general energy for the divine masculine is death, and that comes in his general energy. So he is going through an ending. He is going through a transformation. And with the 3 of Swords in the spread, he's coming to an ending here, an ending of a relationship, an ending of a cycle. But there is an ending going on here. For the feminine, it's the 8 of Swords. The feminine is, I would say, she's trapped in her own mind, and there are lots of Swords cards in this reading. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a lot of mental energy here, a lot of mental energy going on, thinking, worrying about things, with the 9 of Swords here. And she doesn't have to be, but she is worried. She is worried, she's wondering what's going on, she's feeling limited, restricted, but she could release herself from those thoughts. She doesn't have to see things in a limiting way. But that's where she is at the moment. Then we've got, how does the masculine view the feminine? How does the divine masculine view the divine feminine? And he views her as the moon. He views her as the moon. So he can sense that she's anxious. He can sense that she's going through a lot of emotional anxiety, fears, doubts about the connection. He is aware. And, as twin flames, you can pick up on each other's energy. So he can pick up on her anxiety, on her fears, on her doubts. We've got two water cards here, the moon and death. They're very much about deep, deep, deep emotion here. This is the Scorpio card ruled by Pluto. And the moon, it's all water, it's all emotion. Deep, deep emotions running. And that's for both of them, for both the masculine and the feminine. And that is why we've got this anxiety here. The worry. There's a lot of, I think, fears that are being unearthed, that are coming to the surface, and that have to come to the surface. They have to come. This is the time for them to come to the surface. Pluto, the god of the underworld, of death and rebirth. Things have to be unearthed, come to the light, so they can be healed and transformed, so we can leave the past behind and move into a new phase, unfettered and shackled by the past, by the fears, by the doubts. Then this is how she views the divine masculine. She views him as the fool. It almost like she can sense, even though she's worried about the whole thing and she feels like it's not going anywhere, at a deep level, just like he can feel her anxiety, she also can feel that he is on the road to healing, that he is just about to start a new journey, that he is just about to move to the next phase of his life and his growth. She can feel it. But it's the thoughts that keep her trapped and keep her feeling like nothing is happening and it's all doom and gloom. But at a deep level, she can sense that he's about to free himself and start on a new journey, that he is going through an ending and about to start a new journey. Whenever that, it depends on the person, it depends on the situation. This process may take a month, may take 2 months, may take 3 months. Timing here is, it's difficult to put timing on these things, but what's very clear, it's that it's all in process and it's all almost there. It's just almost there. And we know that 2018 is a year 11, the year of the twin flames, the year of reunions. So this is imminent. This is imminent. In the position of how he views the relationship, we've got the Three of Swords. Sorry, just give me a moment. So we've got the Three of Swords here. in how he views the relationship. Because of what he's going through, for the month of January, he doesn't feel like there is a chance for him to reunite with his divine feminine counterpart. He's going through a difficult process. He's in a time of transition, and so he is not ready yet to progress things, and he feels heartbroken by that. He feels heartbroken by what he's going through, but he feels heartbroken by the fact that he won't be able to progress things for the time being. The way the divine feminine views the relationship is the Four of Cups. Again, she can feel that nothing is happening. This person here is sitting. There is this cup being offered to him, but he's not really interested. He's looking at those other three cups. And it's almost like she can see this person here for her is the divine masculine. You know, she's offering him that cup. He's not taking it. He's focused on these three cups, looking dissatisfied and bored. And that's what she feels the relationship is at the moment, where nothing is happening because the divine masculine is not accepting that cup yet, and he can't accept it. He can't accept it at the moment, and he feels heartbroken about it because of what he's going through. What his desire is for the relationship is the Queen of Swords. What he desires here is to have clarity, is to come to a place of clarity, because his thoughts are clouded at the moment. You know, he's got the moon in his spread. His thoughts are clouded. He can't see clearly. Going through this change, this transition, he doesn't know where he's coming from or where he's going. And he wants clarity. He wants clarity, and he wants to be able to have the clarity of the Queen of Swords and to see the truth of the situation, and to be able to progress with determination and with clarity, rather than where he is at the moment, where he's feeling all over the place and he's not clear in his thinking or where he's going. And there is fear, of course, going through the death process. You know, there is fear. You know, fear of the unknown, fear of leaving what we are used to, you know, leaving our comfort zone. But he hopes to be the Queen of Swords here. So that things could move forward. What the divine feminine hopes for, or the desires for the relationship are the Nine of Wands. She wants and she hopes and she desires that she will have the strength and the resilience to carry on, because she's tired, she's exhausted. She's been doing all this healing. She's been doing the waiting. She's been waiting for this new journey, and she's been ready for it. But Nothing's been happening. The divine masculine is not ready yet. And she's just tired of it. She's tired, she's feeling restricted and limited, can't see a way forward. And what she hopes for is that she could have the resilience and the strength to stay the course. He's hoping for clarity and truth. She's hoping for strength and resilience. This is about the action. So what action will the divine masculine take in the month of January? I've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So I guess the answer here is not much, because he's not feeling strong, he's not feeling confident, he's not feeling content to take any action at the moment. The Nine of Pentacles upright is this lady who's surrounded by abundance and luxury, feeling happy and content with herself, with her life. She's independent, she's confident. Everything that the divine masculine is not feeling at the moment. So he lacks the strength here. He lacks the confidence to take any action. What is the action of the divine feminine? It's the Page of Swords. So, two things here. The Page of Swords symbolizes idealism. It's almost like he can take on the world with his sword. It's a young energy. It's a very innocent kind of type of idealism. And it's almost like, despite the fact that she's losing hope and she feels tired and she can't see a way forward, she keeps the idealism here. She keeps the idealism, she keeps the faith that, this will happen. And she may try to communicate. It's a card of communication as well. The swords are about communication. So she may communicate with the divine masculine, send him a text, send him a message, a New Year greeting, anything to establish some communication here. She could also be maybe checking, I don't know, his Facebook account, or gathering information about him, seeing where he is, what he's doing. So that it could be any or one of those things. The last column is about the challenge. So what is the challenge for the divine masculine in the month of January? His challenge is to keep the faith, is to stay hopeful, is to see the light at the end of the tunnel, to trust that this is a guided process, that there is divine and cosmic guidance at play. He can't see it at the moment because of what he's going through. The first three cards here, you can see, it's very, very, very deep emotional turmoil and upset and fear and kind of deep fears here. It's coming from, from the underworld, from our underworld, from our subconscious. Things are coming to the surface. He's going through a very deep, intense process. So, no wonder he's feeling like the Nine of Pentacles and doesn't have the hope, doesn't have the strength or the ability to see the light. But that's where he's heading. That's where he's heading. That's where he's heading. For the Divine Feminine, her challenge is the Six of Swords. Her challenge is to at least mentally here, I think it's more mental than anything, to move away from the Eight of Swords energy. Her challenge is to really remove those blinds, remove, what's holding her, because she can, she just has to do it. And step into the full energy, step into that carefree, unchained, free-spirited energy, or the energy of the Page of Swords, that idealism. So her challenge is to really free herself from the worry, from a level of pessimism as well, and move away from that. And interesting here that the Eight of Swords is sandwiched between the Death card and the Fool card. I mean, these two cards are about freedom, being set free. And she's right in the middle there. He is freeing himself. She needs to free herself from all the negative thoughts or pessimistic thoughts that might be going through in her mind. Now, the three likely outcome cards for the month of January, I say the month of January, but, energy is fluid. So this could be February, it could be March, it's very fluid and there is movement with energy. So we've got, beautiful, we've got these three cards, lovely, lovely, lovely cards. Eight of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and Lovers. So we've got here, we've got the Eight of Cups. The man in the Eight of Cups is moving in the direction of the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is followed by the Lovers. So what does that say? All this shall pass. All this shall pass. There is change. There is movement away from what no longer serves us. Whether it's an outdated relationship, an outdated way of thinking, limiting beliefs, all these changes here are going to lead to moving away to find something better, something more in alignment with our bliss and who we are. And it's moving towards the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a partnership card. It's a partnership card about coming together to manifest something, to bring something into manifestation, make it tangible, because it's the Pentacles. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine will both be moving away from what no longer serves them. He'll be moving away from external situations or internal as well, fears and doubts that have been holding him back. She'll be eventually, even though in the month of January she'll find it challenging to move away from those thoughts, she'll eventually do it. And they'll come together to find a way forward. And that way forward is this. Do I need to say more? No, I don't. So, yeah, the month of January is a big month of release and changes. But it's all, and pain, and, there's anxiety and doubts and fears, and our deepest fears will be coming up to the surface. They'll be coming up to the surface to be healed and transformed, for us to eventually come together and build something tangible together and bring it into manifestation. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this reading, and I will connect with you next time. Lots of love and Happy New Year. Bye.